You wake up, take a shower, grab your favorite perfume, and spray it on your neck. Automatic. Without thinking. It's such an ingrained ritual that most people have never stopped to question it. Why the neck? The answer most people give is simple. Because the scent becomes stronger. And it makes sense. The neck is a warm area of the body, close to important blood vessels, which really helps to diffuse the aroma. It's part of the so-called pulse point theory, locations where the heat of the blood warms the skin and enhances the fragrance. But there's another part to this story that almost no one tells, and that's exactly what we're going to explore today. Because I want to propose an experiment to you. 30 days, just 30 days without applying perfume to your neck. It's not about throwing the bottle away. It's not about living without perfume. It's just a change in the application point. Simple as that. But what happens to your body during this period? What does science have to say about it? That's what you'll find out by the end of this video. What's inside a perfume that nobody reads on the label? Before I talk about the 30 days, I need to show you what's inside the bottle you use every day. Take any conventional perfume and turn the label over. If you can read it, because the print is usually tiny, you'll find a list of ingredients with names that sound like they came from a chemistry exam. Some are just preservatives. Others are responsible for fixing the scent. But there's a category that has been attracting the attention of researchers for some years. The phthalates. Phthalates are chemical compounds used in the cosmetics and fragrance industry as fixatives. They help the scent last longer on the skin. The most common one in perfumes is DEP, diethyl phthalate. The key point here is that scientific studies, including research published by National Institutes of Health in the United States, studies have identified that some of these substances have the potential to interfere with the functioning of the endocrine system. The endocrine system is the set of glands that produces your body's hormones. Substances with this type of behavior are called endocrine disruptors, and they are present not only in perfumes, but also in plastics, cosmetics, cleaning products, and packaging. It's important to make this clear. This doesn't mean that using perfume will destroy your health or cause any specific disease. Science is still studying the effects of cumulative exposure over time. But what is already known is that continuous exposure to these substances, especially in areas of high absorption, deserves attention. And that's where the neck comes into the story. Now I want you to do something. Place your hand on your neck, right in the center, just below your Adam's apple. Did you feel it? That's more or less where your certain feature obscurity is located. Thyroid. The thyroid is a small, butterfly-shaped gland that produces hormones essential for virtually everything in your body. Metabolism, body temperature, mood, energy, sleep, fertility. When it functions well, you don't even notice it's there. When something throws it off balance, the whole body feels it. The detail that few people associate with this area is geographical. The thyroid gland is located precisely in the anterior region of the neck. This means that when you spray perfume in this area, you are applying a mixture of chemical substances, including possible endocrine disruptors, directly onto the skin covering this gland. This isn't a claim that perfume will harm your thyroid. What I'm saying is that the anatomical proximity is real and relevant, and that it's worthwhile to understand what happens to these substances after they come into contact with your skin. The skin is not an impermeable barrier. It absorbs. And the amount it absorbs depends on several factors: skin thickness, local temperature, degree of hydration, and blood flow in the area. The neck has characteristics that make it one of the body's most absorbent areas. The skin there is thinner than on the stomach or back, for example. Furthermore, it's a highly vascularized area, full of blood vessels close to the surface, which facilitates the entry of topically applied substances into the bloodstream more easily. Researchers in the field of cutaneous toxicology have documented that the rate of absorption of substances through the skin varies significantly depending on the region of the body. The face and neck are among the regions with the highest absorption, often exceeding absorption by the forearm, for example, which is the region used as a standard in laboratory tests. What does this mean in practice? That when you apply perfume to your neck, the skin in that area can absorb a greater amount of substances than if you applied it to your wrist or the inside of your elbow. This is not a reason to panic. It's a reason to be aware. Let's do the experiment. Imagine today is day 0. You've decided for the next 30 days, the perfume will go on your wrist, elbow, clothes, anywhere but your neck. In the first week, the most likely changes are external and visible. Many people who make this change report that the skin on their neck becomes visibly less irritated. This makes sense because the alcohol present in the base of most perfumes is a known irritant, especially for sensitive skin. Alcohol dries out the skin, removes its natural protective layer, and can cause redness, itching, and even minor peeling with repeated daily use. If you have sensitive skin on your neck, you've probably noticed this. That burning sensation right after spraying, that's the alcohol. And the skin on the neck, being thinner, feels it more. In the first 7 days without applying alcohol to the neck, this area can begin to recover. The skin barrier, that protective layer that alcohol compromises, has a reasonable capacity for regeneration when the aggression is interrupted. Furthermore, it's common to report that the neck becomes less dry, especially for those who have used perfume daily in that area for years. Days 8 to 20, the hormonal system begins to breathe. Here, the conversation gets a little deeper and more interesting. When exposure to endocrine disruptors is reduced, the body begins to process and eliminate these substances more efficiently. This isn't magic, it's basic physiology. The liver and kidneys are the main organs responsible for filtering and eliminating chemical compounds. And when you reduce their intake, the body is better able to balance the equation. Studies on the elimination of phthalates from the body show that these substances have a relatively short half-life, meaning that the body can eliminate them fairly quickly when exposure is interrupted. Research published in Environmental Health Perspectives studies have shown that, in some cases, phthalate markers in participants' urine dropped significantly within a few days after stopping the use of products containing them. Now, an important caveat, this doesn't mean that stopping applying perfume to your neck will cure or treat any hormonal problem. That's not how it works. The hormonal system is complex, and any changes you're experiencing in your body should be investigated by a doctor. What we're talking about here is reducing exposure to potentially interfering substances, a preventive choice based on body awareness. Between the 8th and 20th, some people report improved sleep quality, less fatigue, and a greater sense of energy. But it's fair to say that isolating these effects to perfume is difficult. Many variables influence well-being. What science supports is that reducing the load of synthetic chemicals in the body, in general, tends to be beneficial. Hey, if this content resonates with you, follow me on this channel. Every video is based on serious research. Click follow now and don't miss the next one. Days 21 to 30. The final result of the experiment, we've reached the end of the month. 30 days later, what can you realistically expect? The skin on the neck will most likely be in better condition, less irritated, more hydrated, with a more intact skin barrier. This is documentable, visible, and direct. From an internal perspective, the body has been receiving a lower load of chemicals for 30 days through one of the body's most absorbent regions. This doesn't mean all problems have been solved, but it does mean you've given your system a break it rarely receives. Some people who do this experiment report that, at the end of the 30 days, they realized they were living with a level of skin irritation that they thought was normal, and only discovered it wasn't when they stopped. Others don't notice any visible difference, and that's okay too. It depends on individual factors, skin type, frequency of use, specific ingredients in the perfume you use. The central point of the experiment is not to produce a dramatic result. It's to invite you to pay attention to your own body, to make more conscious choices about what you apply and where. You don't have to give up perfume. You just need to change where you apply it. There are areas of the body that combine warmth, stability, and a lower risk of high absorption. See the best options. Internal pulse, classic, works well. The The local temperature helps diffuse the scent. It's an area of moderate absorption, and the exposure is less than on the neck. Elbow bend, another pulse region with natural warmth and good scent projection. Behind the knees, surprisingly, but very effective. Body heat is high in this area, and the aroma gradually increases throughout the day. Hair retains fragrance for a long time. Lightly spraying it on the ends or applying it to a comb before styling is a technique used by perfumers. Caution: alcohol can dry out hair over time, so use it sparingly. Clothes, especially fabrics like cotton and linen, absorb fragrance well. Spraying it on the inside of clothing is an option that projects the scent without direct contact with the skin. What changes with this switch? In practice, almost nothing in terms of scent. You still smell good. The difference lies in the absorption area and the proximity to sensitive glands like the thyroid. A question that comes up quite often when the topic is endocrine disruptors and cosmetics is, are natural perfumes safer? The answer is, depends. Perfumes made with natural ingredients, pure essential oils, botanical extracts, tend not to contain synthetic phthalates in the same proportion as conventional perfumes. This is a positive point from the perspective of reducing endocrine disruptors. But natural ingredients can also be allergenic. Essential oils such as bergamot, jasmine, and ylang-ylang are among the most frequently cited in cases of allergic skin reactions. So, natural is not automatically synonymous with safe for everyone. Here's what you can do concretely. Read the label, look for diethyl phthalate or DEP in the ingredient list. If it's not explicitly listed, it may appear hidden under the generic term fragrance or parfum, which, by law in the US and many other countries, does not need to detail its internal compounds as it is considered a trade secret. Look for brands with greater transparency in their formulation. Some companies already publish a complete list of ingredients and are audited by cosmetic safety organizations. Choose phthalate-free formulas. Many manufacturers already advertise this on the packaging using terms like phthalate-free. There is no such thing as a perfect perfume, but there are more informed choices. We've reached the end. You now know what's inside the perfume, understand the anatomy of the neck, know what science says about skin absorption, and have completed the 30-day experiment. Now the question is, what to do with all this? 3 practical things you can start today. 1. Change the application point now. No need to finish the bottle beforehand. From today onwards, apply your perfume to your wrist, elbow, or behind your knee. Simple, free, no sacrifice. 2. Read the label on your current perfume. That's all. Look at the ingredients. Search for phthalate, DEP, or parfum as a generic ingredient. You don't need to throw it away. Just know what you're using. 3. Test it for 30 days. Try this experiment on your own body. Note how the skin on your neck feels today. Take a picture if you want, and in 30 days, compare. Pay attention to how you feel. Sleep, energy, skin irritation. Be curious about your own body. And remember, any health change you want to investigate seriously, the best course of action is always to talk to a doctor. This video provides information. What you do with that information is your choice. If this video made you think, share it with someone who puts on perfume around their neck every day. It could be a friend, a family member, someone you know will be interested in this type of information. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, now's the time. We bring you videos with serious research on topics that matter to your real life. Click subscribe and activate the bell. That way, you won't miss anything. See you in the next video.